Hey Homeworthy, I'm Caroline. Welcome to my home in Pennsylvania.
You're watching Homeworthy, where we believe every home has a story.
Hi, I'm Caroline Finnegan. I am the owner and principal designer for Hendren House Interior Design. We are located in Havertown, Pennsylvania, which is a suburb right outside of Philadelphia. My house was built in 1920, so it's over 100 years old. It's a Tudor style home that's pretty popular for this surrounding area. And it has a lot of quirks and details to it. One of the main selling points for us was how much space there actually is in it. And one of the biggest features is our leaded windows that we love that let in so much light and stream in throughout the main floor of the house. This is the main entrance, the front door of our home. This is where you would enter the space. We have a little vestibule here. We did kind of a toile inspired wallpaper in this front entrance just to have a fun pop as soon as you walk in. What's so great about our front exterior is it's been recently landscaped. We also love that it is a Tudor style home, so you can see a lot of the roof line kind of charmed. Our main statement of the front of the house is the leaded windows that we love so much, that let in so much light throughout the day and just make a really pretty view as you drive by. They kind of glisten and shine and sparkle, which is really pretty to me, and I love driving out of my house. It always brings me a smile. Now we're moving into my living room, which is right off the main entry of the home. In here, we have a great staircase that leads to our second floor where all of our bedrooms are. One of my favorite features is my grandfather clock, which is actually from my grandparents themselves. This was passed down from my mom's grandfather. He wanted to make sure that my mom had it when she had her house, but when it came time a few years ago to move things out of my grandparents' space, she just said she didn't really want it in her house. She's trying to downsize, and we were moving into this house. Funny story, we actually lived in my grandparents' house for about 2 months prior to moving into this home from our last space. My grandfather built his house, so there was a lot of special treasures throughout the space that we really were trying to divvy up, and when my mom said she didn't want this, I kind of hopped at the chance to get it. This is Hickory. This is little guy, has been here since I was a child. We would always kind of ask my grandfather to take it down from the clock and play with it, and he would tease us with it. My sister was especially frightened by him. So it's just really a nice touch that we get to see it every day, knowing that it was also in my grandparents' house growing up. And then moving out throughout the rest of the space, you can see we have a gallery wall. This is just some collection of art that we've had over the years. I studied abroad in Florence, Italy in college. So we like to have the piazza view there. My husband was a captain in the Army, so a few years ago, as a present to him, we were able to get all of his medals framed. So I love seeing that as well. And then just some special touches in here. My oldest son a few years ago, he's our very sensitive one. He did a little picture of my husband and I think he was about 4 at the time. He just drew it on loose leaf and said to my mother-in-law when he was finished that this was mommy and daddy when they got married. So she decided to frame this for us, and we just love seeing that because he just knows how loved everyone is in the family. Throughout the rest of the living room, these are the leaded windows that we love. They let in tons of light into the space. It really helps brighten the room. We don't have any overhead lighting in here, just some table lamps and floor lamps throughout the space. But really, I maybe put one on at night just to, brighten it up. But these windows are original to the house from 1920, and we never want to replace them. One of the things, they probably need some restoring done to them. One of the things I said to our realtor when we bought the house was, well, lead, like, what's that like with kids? You kind of get nervous about it. And her response was, well, just don't let them lick them. So we tried to avoid the kids getting up on this kind of stage area, which they do tend to love. We've gotten all their blood work done and they're good. So happy that we can keep them and try and really preserve the history of this house and how old it is, being over 100 years old. And then this is a classic Havertown fireplace. Really, most homes in this area have this kind of classic stone fireplace as a statement piece. I love it. A lot of people tend to sometimes cover them up, but I love the stone detail that it just adds another texture to a room. Around 2021, we decided to make the move to Haverford. We just knew it was just a great community. We were specifically looking in an area called Paddock Farms that had a great park right by there. We have 2 little boys, so around 2021 when we were looking, my youngest was only about 6 months old, but our older space was just, we were outgrowing it. So we decided it was time, and we somehow found a gem in Haverford. The area is pretty popular. There weren't any updates to it. It really looked like it was stuck between 1920 and 1960 and maybe a little bit of 1990. So we definitely needed to modernize it for our family, our growing family. So we decided to do a full kitchen and dining room first floor renovation basically. And we flipped the dining room and kitchen. So our kitchen was very, very small, only about 8 by 10 room. And we decided to make that more of like a dining room breakfast nook basically, and put our kitchen in our larger dining room space. So we decided to upgrade to, custom cabinetry, really nice fixtures, marble countertops, and then also in our dining room, we really wanted it to feel like a space that we could entertain, but also a space that had really like a small jewel box kind of feature to it. So we did a beautiful mural throughout there that kind of features some florals and birds and butterflies and nature in general. So when we're in there, it just feels like a nice little cozy nook. And my favorite part about the renovation was the fact that we were able to open up the space so that they feel like 2 separate spaces, but for entertaining purposes, we can still have people in both spaces at the same time, and it feels pretty open. This used to be our dining room space, actually. So we did a renovation in 2024, and we just wanted to make sure to make the kitchen livable for our family. As I've mentioned, I have 2 little boys and another on the way. So a girl on the way this time. So we wanted to make sure it was really functional for us. Being in a smaller home, we had to get kind of creative with layout. So I mocked up a few different plans, but ultimately decided it was important for us to have a big open space that we could entertain in, but also make it feel like its own individual room as well. Open concept doesn't necessarily work for these older homes. And so we just wanted to make sure that we were staying true to the history of this home. So we wanted a big island, knowing that our kids would gather here for snacks and meals after school. So we did the big island. Our only option was to put the sink in the island just because of layout space-wise. Again, we have leaded windows over here in this area too. So we couldn't raise this to keep the integrity of the windows. So we knew that we weren't going to get any sort of sink with a window view. So we transitioned it over to the island. We still have a pretty large size island to have snacks and food and stuff like that. So it didn't feel like it was taking up too much space for us. And then we did marble countertops, which whenever we have client meetings, people are always scared about marble countertops that we're suggesting to them. We just say that we love the natural patina of them and how they age over time. Staining actually isn't as scary as a lot of people think, and if you get to it right away, it tends to come out. It's more the kind of etching that you can see, but I love seeing a coffee cup etch in my countertops because I know it's been lived in and loved and we use it all the time. And then we had a local cabinetry maker make all of our custom cabinets. He did a custom hood, inset cabinetry, and then we continued the Carrara marble backsplash behind our range as well. We got really creative, as I said, with layout. And again, because these Haverford homes can sometimes be a little bit smaller, we knew that we were going to have to put our pantry and our coffee and all of those things inside of our kind of shelving and cabinetry. So we kind of created a hutch-like furniture piece here that we keep our coffee here and then snacks for the kids up here and then more of our like baking and cooking supplies up here. It's not the tidiest right now, but it's lived in a lot. Every morning I love making my coffee. We just pull our cups out from here and that's it. So the kitchen, we again wanted it to feel really open and light and movable throughout the rest of the space. So we made sure to pick colors in here that again reflected my design style. We love to use color, but I didn't want all my cabinets to be the same color. So we kind of chose a color for the perimeter cabinetry called Old White from Farrow and Ball. It's kind of gives that kind of rich history, not a true bright white. I would personally never want a bright white kitchen cabinetry. It's just not my style, but I wanted something that felt neutral enough that it would work with other colors and accents throughout the house. So this was this taupey old white that we love. And then, as I mentioned, I love a green, so I had to do a green island here. I really wanted to incorporate some of the nickel gap features that you'll find on the island, as well as the side backsplashes, to just, again, give it a little bit more character, incorporate millwork into the design style as well. And what we did here was, I believe it's called Vintage Green from Benjamin Moore. And it's part of their Williamsburg collection, which I love too, because that just feels really historic and true to older homes. And then we did the perimeter over above the refrigerator as well. And then we chose a wood accent for the pantry just because I felt like I needed another feature in here as well. So now I'll take you into our dining room that opens up into our kitchen. Our dining room, as I mentioned, this used to be our kitchen space, which is very tiny. This space was a U-shaped counter, and then we had the oven right here. So, and the fridge right next to it. So everything was really piled on top of each other. We had this great family room space, but it always felt like the kids running in and out were gonna trip over an open refrigerator door, or we had this awful tile actually that had these deep grout lines in it. I stubbed my toe a couple of times, as well as my kids. I think one of my sons fell and hit his head in a corner of one of the tiles, and he had like a little bump on his head for a little bit from that. So once that happened, I was like, okay, it's time to do the kitchen renovation. We had lived in the house for about 2.5 years when we decided to do the kitchen renovation. So we swapped. This used to be, our kitchen used to be our dining room, and this used to be our kitchen, and it was just way too tiny. So the opportunity to turn this into our dining space was really exciting to me, because I knew it was a small space that it could almost feel like a dining breakfast room kind of area that just really felt like a little intimate, cozy jewel box of a space. And so we decided to do a Tebow wallpaper throughout. It is actually a mural. So you can see that the mural repeats itself, but it kind of makes it feel like you're in these majestic trees with these different birds and butterflies and nature. And the flowers, hydrangeas, are one of my favorites. So seeing all the whites of those hydrangeas and then pops of the yellow and pink flowers throughout too was really fun for me. We did this bench accent seat that has a lot of storage in it. So all of my china that I have never used before is stored under there, as well as, you know, different things for parties and birthday parties, birthday tablecloths, things like that. We store all that under here so that we can grab it just at entertaining time. So it's not our everyday use storage, but it's where we go to if we are entertaining. And what's great about here is we've hosted so many kids' birthday parties. So we really like set up all of the food in the dining area by the lead windows. We kind of set that out as a buffet for people to grab food. And then people gather around the island and then can also come here to sit down as well. And then we always do our happy birthdays songs for our kids at this table. And every picture I have of a birthday cake has, you know, the kids smiling, and it's really, really been great over the past 1.5 years to be able to use this space and eat here every night. It just has been incredible for us to live in the actual space. Interior design for me has always been about the specific house and what the story is to tell in that house. I grew up with a family that loved being at home. I have 3 siblings, 2 sisters and a brother, so we were constantly in our home or at our grandparents' house. So we just love, you know, embracing a home cozy vibe, playing outside in our backyard. And my grandparents' home was actually built by my grandfather. So he really instilled in us the importance of taking care of your home and building it to the way you want to live and loving living there. So I've just always had that instilled in me, that you take care of the things that you have and you put your craft into your home, really, because that's exactly what he did. Now entering our family room space right off of the dining room. We also have a doorway that goes from the kitchen as well. So it's really nice that we can use both doorways to suit our needs at the time. So a major selling point for us for this house was all the additional cabinetry. We're pretty sure when we moved in that the cabinetry that was here was made by the owner. So we did do some updates. We got some new doors, painted them, and did some new hardware as well. And then we decided to continue this color. It's called Niebla Azul from Sherwin-Williams. We decided to continue that throughout the rest of the space and did a color drench for everything. So what's behind these cabinets you do not need to see. It's lots of toys. The kids just love coming home at the end of the day, opening their cabinets and playing with their toys. Lots of magnetiles, lots of dinosaurs you will see. But then we also love this side that we can style and have some different mementos and pieces that we've carried with us. There's a lot of stuff on here on the shelves here that one that my kids put up, but two that we've collected over time. Some pieces that my grandfather has made for us when he was alive. He carved, so there's some toys and special pieces that we made sure to incorporate. And then last year we decided to upgrade to a sectional. Sectionals are great for as much seating as possible. So again, when we entertain, people can even grab their food and come sit here. Sometimes we play a game if it's on. We're in the Philadelphia area, so sports are very important to us. We are big Eagles and Phillies fans, and so being able to entertain and gather and watch a game is really important to us as well. And then you'll find over here is one of those pieces that I was talking about that my grandfather made. When he was around, he used to carve little pulley toys for each great-grandchild. So this was our dog Finn. We had him for 9 years. He was a Bernese Mountain Dog. He was lovable and friendly and just like the best dog in the world. And unfortunately in 2023, he passed away. But when my first son was born, my grandfather knew that he needed to make his pulley toy a Finn Bear. You will find a lot of, besides dinosaurs in our home, you will find a lot of Finn Bear touches. So this is Finny here. And then we have a little Finny at the top up here that lives here all the time. So there's just like fun little nods to him because he was such an important part of our family, and my sons and my husband absolutely adored him. So we tried to remember him. Then over here you can see we have some leather chairs just for accent pieces. They have been well loved. We've carried them over with us from our last home to here. But we really wanted to make this space feel bright and fun and colorful with all of the different, pieces that we've collected, but also feel like a really cozy space for my kids to also be able to jump and play and run around, which they do a lot of. This sectional, since we've gotten it, has gotten a lot of pillow fights, forts, and jumping in it. So we love to see it. And then off of the family room space, we have our first floor bathroom. So it is a full bath for here. We have a small shower. We don't use it that often. We believe this whole family room space was used as an in-law suite for the previous owner. So it was great accessibility wise to have a shower here. But we mostly use it as a powder room space, basically. We recently updated this. We used a Michael Smith Jasper wallpaper, Indian flower, which I absolutely love. I've loved it for over 10 years. one of my first design projects. We used it in a mudroom for the company I was working for, and I've loved it ever since then and knew that I wanted to use it in my home someday. So when it came time to finally update this space this past year, we decided to incorporate it and have some fun with beadboard, picking up some of the colors, the kind of green color accents in the wallpaper. This we did evergreen fog as the colorway for the beadboard, and it's not an exact match to the greens that you'll see on the flowers, but it definitely enhances it and makes it look great. It supports it. And then we did this great mirror that has not the exact tone of evergreen fog, but a little bit lighter sage color that we love, that also popped in the space. And then here you'll find our little goose friend. Again, just fun touches that we tried to keep throughout the house to remind our kids of the fun that they can have and that they can really play anywhere in this house. Sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. All right, let's head up to the second floor. I'm going to show you some bedrooms. Follow me. Welcome to my two boys' room. This is James and Hudson's special space. Recently we upgraded the boys. Well, I don't know if they consider it an upgrade, but we decided to move them to one room together. So they each have their big boy beds. James is 6 and Hudson is 4. In here, we wanted it to feel like their special space. My oldest really is into dinosaurs. So we did this great House of Hackney shade that has fun dinosaur print on it, stegosauruses and triceratops. And then it didn't really feel like we needed to do a theme in here because they are growing up and their interests are definitely going to change over the next few years. So we didn't want it to feel too themey. So we also made sure to have their different sports teams that they love. Hudson seems like more of an Eagles fan, whereas James really loves the Phillies. James is so curious and very into dinosaurs and the world and maps and things like that. So we also have his United States map on here where he just starts to ask lots of questions about, you know, different parts of the country and the world. And so we always say, we'll show you on the map when we get home if he asks a question. You can see over here, we also have a world map so that he can learn about different parts of the world. This is kind of like their toy bins, that is their free-for-all. But we put this mural in when we first moved in 2021 because my son James, his old nursery had the same mural in it. And so we wanted something to feel like his old home when we moved into this space. So we did the mural over here as well, but we just loved it so much and we feel like it's a great way for them to learn and gain knowledge about the world that we kept it. And so, like I mentioned, I really love when we're talking about something while we're out and they ask where something is, we make sure to say, when we get home, we'll go look at the map and we'll tell you more about that space. So it's been a really exciting, fun part of seeing them grow and learn and explore. And then moving into the nursery is the room right next to us. Having two boys, I was very excited to learn that this little one is a girl. I am due in 2 weeks, so we're really excited to meet her, and we were able to have the space ready for her when she comes home. So in here, again, you all know at this point that I love a wallpaper. I love a floral. So I definitely knew for her room we were going to go wild with the flowers. We chose this Higi and West wallpaper. It's actually called Dear Old Shiz, which is from Wicket that came out in 2024. Second one's coming out this year, which I absolutely loved and have been obsessed with forever. And the kind of theme of the nursery kind of evolved from seeing their dorm room, Glinda's and Elphaba's dorm room. So I knew that I wanted some sort of intricate floral design in the baby's room. And then when searching for wallpaper, I came across this line that they decided to collaborate with. And thought that it was perfect and felt very much the color theme that we wanted to go with for this room. So you can see there's some really sweet floral details, butterflies again, that we love. So also in here, besides the wallpaper, we decided to do some picture molding just to frame it out and break it up a little bit, since it is a very busy print for this size room. So we did picture molding with a paint color called Warm Blush on the walls, just to accent the wallpaper as well. And then for the crib, we did get an update from my boys. We decided to do a darker walnut wood kind of frame here. Again, I was so inspired by the movie and the production design in it that it was great to use that as an influence. They have all wood paneling throughout their dorm rooms, and we decided to have some sort of wood influence in here, so we decided to have that contrast with her crib here. I also love this piece of art. It's just two fighting bunnies, kind of like playfully playing in a field, kind of more an abstract take on it. And we put it here to just remind her of her two older brothers that are so excited to meet her and are very playful, and I'm sure are going to teach her all their kind of wild ways as well. And then over here, we wanted another contrast, so we decided to do kind of a darker green, green being a favorite color of ours. Decided to do this as a contrast for her dresser and eventual changing table as well. I opened my business in 2020 in the midst of the pandemic. Started out purely as interior design, residential homes in the area. We really focus on a lot of different textures, colors, patterns. I really love to use so many bright colors and bring out natural essence of homes, especially in Pennsylvania where there's a lot of older homes. So we like to keep a historic, timeless vibe, but also incorporate a lot of print and pattern and fun pops. So that was the start of Hendren House in 2020. And then about 2 years later, in September of 2022, we opened up our studio shop where we are today, where we have tons of accessories, just pillows, furniture, rugs, all of that to service both clients and people who are walking throughout the neighborhood. There's a great coffee house 2 doors down, so a lot of times we get traffic from there. And we love, love, love our community. They have been such a support to us as we have built up this business, and so many of the clients that we work with are local to this area. So it's really nice to be able to have a shop that is 5 minutes from my house. It's right down the road, so it's convenient for me between doing mom stuff and coming to the shop, and then also Sometimes I get a chance to walk here if it's a nice day, but really it's been really a great experience to have the studio for workspace as well as shop space. Now we're at our studio shop, which is located about 5 minutes from my house in Havertown, Pennsylvania. This main space has recently been renovated. We did a fun wallpaper just to showcase a fun pop of our design skills. We chose this great Mind the Gap wallpaper that has kind of tile-like details, but with floral inspiration. As I noted already, there's a lot of florals that we use throughout our design, so we definitely wanted to incorporate that as well as green in the design because it's one of our favorite colors to use throughout residences. And then over here, you'll see a small selection of products that we carry, some designer books for coffee tables, some vases. We're very into blue and white. Candles are one of our best sellers. This anniversary candle is one of my favorites. It just has a lot of different tones to it. If you come over here, this is our fun bookcase that displays some of our art, as well as pillows, cups, accessories, bowls. This bowl right here is a blue and white hand painted bowl. It's one of our favorites. You'll find it in my house as well. It's my main fruit bowl that we love. It just stores so much and also just adds a lot to a space. Now I'll take you to the rest of the shop. This is our main sitting area where we have furniture set up to display, to show to clients, and also have them do sit tests to test out if they want to purchase the piece of furniture that they're going with. This is a favorite sofa of ours that we recently reupholstered in, again, a fun floral pattern. It's really a theme. And then over here, you can see some really cozy chairs that have an English arm detail that we love. Large piece of art in this space just to make it feel like a home as well, that they can come here, test out furniture, and make sure that it's comfortable for their home while also feeling like they're in a cozy, fun environment. Over here is our presentation area where we make sure to meet with clients. As you can see, we have a screen that we pull up their designs. So everything from design boards to floor plans. And then we make sure that we have our samples set out for them to review as well. This is just a small example of some of the design work we've put together over the past year. Again, you can see a lot of the different textures, patterns, elements that we use. Wallpaper is a big one for us, and just making sure that we incorporate coordinating colors as well. And right here you'll find Katie and Bridget, who are two design associates on our staff as well. Over here you can see our wallpaper wall. Again, as I mentioned, incorporating textures, patterns, fabrics is really important to us. So being able to display some here for clients while we're presenting to them is really ideal. And then in the back spaces, our offices that we tend to keep a little bit messy. So we're just showing you our presentation area for now. But this is really the main area that clients come to sit, to shop, and to learn more about what we want their home to look like and what we think would make them happiest in their home. It's been great having you here, Homeworthy. Thanks for coming to the shop. We hope to see you soon, and make sure to come visit us. Home means love to me. I don't know how to say that without getting emotional, actually. Home is where you should be happy, and home is just the most important thing in life. Making sure that you feel happy and loved and safe and good in your home is the most important thing. My family and my children are my life. I've built this business for my family. So being able to provide a happy and safe place for them is so important. And if we can make it pretty while doing that, that's incredible too. So home is just love and happiness and light to me.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to go to homeworthy.com for exclusive content, shopping guides, and so much more.